Hello and welcome back to Euro Football Daily for this week's edition of Euro Transfer Talk. The summer window may have closed, but with free transfers available and the future of some high-profile stars still uncertain, there are plenty of stories to delve into in today's episode. So let's get started. Out of favour at Barcelona, Miralem Pjanic was linked with a move away from the new camp all summer, and finally departed Catalonia on Thursday, joining Turkish champions Besiktas on a season-long loan. The 31-year-old signed for Barca last summer in a swap deal with Juventus, which saw Arthur go in the other direction, but the Bosnia international struggled to cement his place in the side. The former Roma man made just 19 La Liga appearances in total last season, and was firmly behind the likes of Pedri and Frenkie de Jong in the pecking order. Having not featured in Barcelona's three opening games this term, it's clear that Pjanic was not in Koeman's plans, and with an €8 million per year salary, the Blaugrana have been desperate to lower their wage bill. According to Sky Sports Italy, the Bosnian has agreed to a 60% reduction of his salary, with Besiktas paying 86% of his new €3.2 million year wage packet. Despite having 3 years left on his deal in Spain, the playmaker has already spoken out against his old boss since moving to Turkey. Being disrespected by Koeman, Pjanic told Marca, "The coach is the one who says who plays and who doesn't. There are different ways to do things. I'm a player who can accept everything, but I would always like to be told things face to face. Not as if nothing happened and I was 15 years old." And he's not the first player to speak out against the Dutchman, with Luis Suarez, Junior Firpo and Emerson Royal all making similar remarks. Pjanic, however, was the latest in a long line of midfielders who failed to dislodge Sergio Busquets from the starting 11. A move to Istanbul will guarantee him minutes though, as he looks to resurrect his career. To Paris now, where the future of Kylian Mbappe remains unclear. With less than a year left on his deal at PSG, the 22-year-old has been the subject of much transfer speculation and is reportedly holding out on a move to the club he supported growing up, Real Madrid. Los Blancos were keen to sign the Frenchman this summer, making an official bid worth €160 million a week before the window closed. The bid was rejected, though it was expected that the two clubs would come to an agreement before the deadline. This was of course not the case, despite reports of a €200 million offer in the final hours of the window. So why were the Ligue 1 giants so determined to keep hold of a player who can depart for free next summer? Well, according to The Athletic, it's because they are quietly confident that they can convince the forward to stay in Paris and sign a new bumper deal. When Messi joined PSG in August, the club insisted he would not be a replacement for Mbappe, and in fact is one of several reasons the club still hope to persuade the former Monaco man into renewing his contract. And the Parisian certainly doesn't look unhappy in a PSG shirt. Just days before the window slammed shut, Mbappe scored both goals in a 2-0 win over Reims, celebrated happily with his teammates, and gave no impression while on the pitch that he would prefer to be elsewhere. Also, unlike Harry Kane for example, the youngster has always turned up to training and not attempted to force a transfer. There's no doubt the Ligue 1 top scorer dreams of a move to Madrid, but PSG hope a few months playing alongside Messi and Neymar could help change his mind. But what do you think? Can you see Mbappe signing a new contract at the Parc de Princes, or does his future lie at the Bernabeu or even elsewhere? Let us know in the comments below. We take a trip to North London now, where Tottenham midfielder Tanguy Ndombele remains frozen out. The club's record signing was strongly linked with a move away in the summer window, but stays in the English capital due to a lack of buyers willing to pay his €52 million price tag. The Frenchman has not played a minute of football for Spurs this season, nor been involved in any matchday squad under new boss Nuno Espirito Santo. Bayern Munich and Barcelona have previously shown interest in the midfielder, but according to Italian outlet Calcio Mercato, the San Siro could become his next possible destination should Spurs step up their attempts to sign Franck Kessie. The Lily Whites are thought to be keen on the Ivorian and will reportedly offer Ndombele in a swap deal for Kessie in January. The former Atalanta man will become a free agent at the end of the current campaign, following 4 seasons in Milan, and has already snubbed a £5.5 million a year deal with no intention of accepting a future proposal according to reports. Primarily a box-to-box midfielder, Kessie was at his goal-scoring best last season, netting 13 times as Pioli's side finished second in Serie A, their highest league finish in 9 years. Tottenham sporting director Fabio Paratici sees the 24-year-old as the perfect replacement for Ndombele, who struggled to settle in England. Spurs are now prepared to cut their losses on the former Lyon man in a bid to lure Kessie to the Premier League, but will face competition from both PSG and Juventus for the player. Ndombele may be staying put at Spurs for now, but his good friend and former teammate Serge Aurier has said his goodbyes. The right-back's deal was set to run out at the end of the season, but with no suitable offer on the table during the summer window and the player deemed to have no future at the club, both parties have now decided to go their separate ways. It brings to an end a 4-year spell at Tottenham, with the defender becoming a free agent and able to join another club. Which club that will be remains to be seen, but in a shocking turn of events, Sky Sports reports that the Ivorian would consider a move to arch-rivals Arsenal. The 28-year-old wants to stay in England, ideally London, and Arsenal are one of a number of clubs that have been made aware of his preference. Prior to joining Spurs, Aurier was once pictured in a Gunners shirt, and the Ivory Coast captain has hinted at staying in the Premier League with his Instagram story he posted following his exit. The fullback shared a goodbye message to the Spurs fans, stating "All the best, see you soon." The caption was accompanied by a winking face emoji and a red heart, fueling speculation that he may be on the verge of a controversial move. Aurier had interest from Real Betis, Watford and Spartak Moscow, but felt he should be playing at a higher level. A move to Tottenham's North London rivals would see him become one of very few players to have played for both clubs. And while Arsenal did sign Tomiyasu, who plays right back, the Japan international can also play in central defence if required, which could potentially free up a spot on the right. Arsenal have stayed suspiciously quiet on the matter. But what do you think? Would Aurier be a good signing for Arteta? Can you actually see this deal happening? Let us know your thoughts down below. To Turin now, where Weston McKennie is attracting interest from another Premier League side. The 23-year-old was on the radar of Spurs in the summer, but according to The Independent, Juventus were looking for a fee in the region of £40 million, which was deemed too high by chairman Daniel Levy. The American remained in Italy, but is now reportedly a January target for Aston Villa. The West Midlands club are keen on the midfielder, who's been told he can find a new home as soon as possible. The USA international arrived from Schalke for €20.5 million ahead of the 2021 campaign, and had an impressive first season at the Allianz Stadium, making 46 appearances and scoring 6 times. But with Locatelli having arrived from Sassuolo this summer, the Bianconeri already have another option in the middle of the park, and the FC Dallas youth product will see his game time limited, having featured for just 45 minutes so far this term. Contracted at Juve until June 2025, Villa may have to splash the cash to bring in the Coppa Italia winner. We finished this week's episode in Italy, where despite turning 38 earlier this year, Franck Ribery looks to have secured a move to Serie A newcomers Salernitana. The Bayern Munich legend has been without a club since leaving Fiorentina at the end of the 2021 campaign, the side ultimately deciding against extending his 2-year stay in Florence. During his time in Tuscany, the winger registered 5 goals and 10 assists in 51 appearances across all competitions. Not bad for the now 3rd oldest outfield player in the league. What's more, he won the Fans Player of the Year in his debut season. The veteran trained with Bayern during the summer and has been linked with many clubs in Serie A, including Hellas Verona. But Ribery is signed for the newly promoted side, Salernitana, on a 1-year contract for a €1.5 million net salary. The Frenchman won the Champions League during his time in Germany and picked up 9 Bundesliga titles and 6 Pokals. He was also voted the best player in Europe by UEFA in 2013 and seems set to prolong his playing career with the Granata. The Campania-based outfit will also have the option to hand the forward a 1-season extension if they manage to avoid relegation from Serie A. With 2 defeats in their opening 2 games, Ribery could provide the spark that sees the underdogs shoot up the table and maintain their top-flight status. And that's all we have time for today, but if you've heard any transfer rumours of your own, do send them in and let us know your thoughts on the video in the comments below. And finally, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more great content. Bye for now.